Okay, so guys, yesterday was Ghana's presidential inauguration. That is the president of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, and of course, a lot of African countries' presidents, different representatives, deputizers. They were all present there to, grace that occasion. But the struggling scenario of that particular inauguration was the presence of the Burkina Faso president, President Ibrahim Traoré. He was there live and direct. And of course, a lot of African leaders never expected that he's going to be there, but he did show up. Of course, he showed up for the president in solidarity for the African world communalism. And of course, the president, John Dramani Mahama, of course, he ruled Ghana before from 2012 to 2017, and of course, he contested again and won the election. Now, the struggling whole thing now is this: he invited different heads of state, of course, who were present, but Burkina Faso's president stood out. Why did he stood out? Because nobody expected him to be there because he was the one that instigated a coup that took over the democratic leadership of Burkina Faso. And of course, to a lot of ECOWAS representatives, ECOWAS countries and ECOWAS states, they found such act reprehensible. And as they found such act reprehensible, it was a lot of chaos on trying to dethrone him so that a normal democratically elected person can what take over. But guess what? It was a welcome development by the Burkina Faso citizens. They said they need General Ibrahim Traoré because ever since they have been having democracy. Democracy they claim to have been a shadow of Israel. So in this case now, Ibrahim Traoré has been able to chase colonialism out of France. Ibrahim Traoré has been able to abolish slavery mentality in France, especially in their country, Burkina Faso. They have chased France away because France has been on their resources for years. And in this case now, this man was able to what chase France away. Now they abolished French as an official language and replaced their own indigenous language as an official language. And other numerous achievements that this young man, Ibrahim Traoré, has been able to what? Achieve. And guess what? He is just 36 years old and a graduate of University of Odagodi in Burkina Faso, they then and their military defense academy. And in the ranking sector of the military, he is what? A captain. He is a captain. So guess what? Coming to that show yesterday, I think a few days ago, on that inauguration, a lot of African leaders never expected him. They never expected to see him. And guess what? He showed up. And when he showed up, he was the stylish of all eyes. Why? Because he stood for something. He stood for the blood and sweat of crying African citizens. He stood for the oppressors of the African netizens. Ibrahim Traoré stood and is still carrying the legacy of late Thomas Sankara. And that he came in a few days ago on that inauguration, and he stood the show. He stole the show because a lot of people were just admiring his boldness, his tenaciousness, his alacrity, you know, his demeanor. They were wowed by the guy's idiosyncrasy. But they never understood. They never understood that a particular African leader would be so much braggadocio and audacious to repudiate the crinkum system of colonial imperialism in Africa. But this guy did everything possible to make sure he repudiated such disposition in an African soul. He graced that occasion yesterday. He received the highest ovation yesterday. And come to think about his steez, when it comes to steez, this guy is 100%. His charismaticness, 100%. Look at his steez, boldness. And a lot of people were just sacked. They were wowed. They were nonplussed, astonished, looking at how this young man is making a killing, succeeding here and there, breaking protocols, elevating his countries, and transmogrifying
A full
this
meaning of
political
Burkina
navigation of his
Faso means
country.
solid
Now,
men
beside him
and
was a
women of
peso.
integrity.
People were wondering, a general, how can he be putting on peso, this and that? Of course, protection. Protection. Do you know why? He is a wanted man. The West, the Europeans, they don't want him to stand. Why? Because in fact, this man has been able to uh, evade from 12 assassination attempts on his life. So someone that has conquered 12 assassinations, so he shouldn't move with gun. And guess what? His aura of gracing that particular inauguration was so symbolic that look at his military squad. They were all with him. He came in with his own entourage, everything with his own security conscious, guarded with his pistol. Why? Because self-protection. He knows what awaits for him. He knows that West, France, especially France, Europe, France, are not smiling with him. He knows that he can be taken down at any particular point in time. He knows that he can be taken down at any particular point in time. And guess what? The same France that he chased away from his country, Burkina Faso, the same France now has used the president of Nigeria indirectly to establish a military base at the northern region of Nigeria. And of course, when they finally establish this military base, what does that supposed to tell you? That they are now nine, they are now closer, they are now in proximity with Burkina Faso because their eyes is still on that resources they have been getting for years in Burkina Faso. And to them, who is this young man with this enormous braggadocio and idiosyncrasy and tenaciousness that is going to pull us out of the make we have been making for years? So the man is a wanted animal. They want to chew him raw, not even cooked. Ibrahim Traoré is a wanted animal by the colonial imperialists. They want to chew him raw and feast his blood to whoever that cares. But because how dare you remove our milk and honey from our mouth? And guess what? The guy did not bloody care. His aura to aura is 100% and top notch. He came into Ghana, feeling Ghana with his own everything prepared. And he took them unaware because he initially he told them that he's going to have a representative. And he came in fully squad, fully prepared. Look at the vice president, a woman. He removed his beret, military beret, in solidarity, in respect for what the office represents. That is to tell you that he is the one that is still carrying the vision of Thomas Sankara in maintaining and protecting the legacy and inclusiveness of women in, in politics. He is still carrying the legacy of Thomas Sankara. But I wish African leaders who have become so much puppets in the hands of colonial masters would adopt the modus operandi and modus vivendi of this young man, Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. I wish they will emulate him and say no to the colonialist imperialism and imperialist avariciousness on African resources. For God's sake, Africa has a lot to triumph all over the world. Africa has a lot to grow. But guess what? Because of colonialism, because of colonial imperialism, that's why we find ourselves where we are today. So guys, if you are watching this video, make sure you are following me and make sure you click on the plus button to make sure you you follow me. Thank you very much. Then please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are watching this video from YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. You are watching from TikTok, check my bio. My YouTube link is there. You subscribe to my YouTube channel. Catch you on my next video. God bless.